your shoulders to drop down away from your ears. And as you're ready, just allowing your eyes to gently close. And just beginning by observing your natural breath as it flows in and out. And as you become aware of that natural flow, you're going to begin to deepen the breath. So sucking in a little bit longer on the inhale, a little bit longer on the exhale. And if you're not already, see if you can take your inhales and exhales through your nose. And as you become very aware of your breath, go ahead and just set an intention for yourself today. And we'll hold that intention with us through our practice. You can gently allow your eyes to open, and on an inhale, drawing your arms up over your head, reaching as tall as you can, and on your exhale, folding forward, allowing your hands to come to the ground. Breathing into the back of your hips, extending that crown forward as you fold deeper over your legs. We're just going to take a few breaths here. As you begin to feel an opening, you might gently crawl your fingers a little farther forward. And on an inhale, beginning to walk your hands over to the right. And on an exhale, deepening in a fold over your right leg. See if you can keep grounding that left hip down if it wants to lift up. Really breathing into your side body. And on your next inhale, beginning to walk through center and over to the left. Crawling that right hand a little bit further forward. And then just releasing down into that fold, breathing into your side body. On your next inhale, coming back through center and gently pressing up. And then we're going to go ahead and make our way onto our hands and knees. Go ahead and stack your knees under your hips, your wrists under your shoulders. And on an inhale, we're going to draw our crown and tailbone up into cat. And on an exhale, pressing into that back, into cow. And as you inhale and exhale, moving through cat and cow, see if you can get a little bit more movement each time in through each vertebrae. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Do this a few more times at the pace of your own breath. And after your next round, let's meet at a flat back. From here, you're going to take the ball of your left foot back, pressing through that heel, stretching through the calf, and then beginning to draw that left heel up, keeping your hips square to the ground. Once you've found your balance here, draw your right hand forward. And then we're going to add some movement. On your next exhale, drawing your elbow and knee together. Inhaling forward. Exhaling, elbow to knee. Inhaling forward. Exhaling, elbow to knee. 2 more times. Inhaling forward. Exhaling, elbow to knee. And 1 more time. Inhaling forward. Exhaling, elbow to knee. And then releasing your hand and knee to the mat. Then preparing for the other side, bringing the ball of that right foot back to the mat, stretching out through the heel. And as you're ready, lifting that right foot off the mat, squaring the hips with the mat, and then bringing that left arm forward. Once you find your balance here, we're going to add some movement. Exhaling, elbow to knee. Inhaling forward. Exhaling, elbow to knee. Inhaling forward. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhaling forward. And then 1 more time. Exhaling, elbow to knee. Inhaling forward. And then releasing your hand and knee to the ground. Pressing the hips back. We'll take a couple breaths in child's pose. Bringing that forehead down to the mat. On an inhale, coming back forward onto the hands and knees, tucking your back toes under, pressing the hips up and back, down dog. We're going to stay here for a few breaths, so maybe bending deeply into the knees, really pressing through the palms and balls of your fingers. And maybe you bicycle out, straightening one foot and then the other. Then on an inhale, we're going to gaze forward and walk our feet up to our hands. Exhaling into forward fold. And from here, just allow the back of your neck to release, maybe shaking your head yes or no. You can keep a bend in your knees. Just gently pressing up, giving a little stretch in the hamstrings. Couple more breaths here. And then on an exhale, tucking that tailbone and rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhaling your hands all the way up. Exhaling, hands to heart. Now we're just gonna play with mountain pose for a minute. So bringing your feet, the inner edge of your feet parallel to each other and about hip distance apart. I want you to first rock your weight onto one foot and then the other. And then coming back to center and see if you can find even weight in each foot. And then rocking a little bit forward onto the ball and back onto the heel. And then coming to center. And then from here, just close your eyes for a moment, pressing deeply into each foot, drawing your kneecaps up, away. So tightening your thighs, rolling your tailbone under, and then dropping your shoulders down away from your neck. And just taking a couple deep breaths here, feeling grounded and connected. Then on the inhale, reaching up, and exhaling, forward fold. On an inhale, placing your hands on your shins, flat back. Exhale, placing your hands on the mat, bending your knees, and stepping or jumping back into plank. We'll take one inhale at the top of the plank, and then dropping your knees, bending your elbows, hugging them in, down through chaturanga. On an inhale, up into baby cobra, stretching the heart forward, and exhale, pressing the hips back, curling the toes under, all the way back into down dog. And just taking a couple deep breaths here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And on your next inhale, drawing the right heel up. Exhale, bending and stepping it through towards your hands into low lunge. Taking just a couple breaths here, making sure that your knee is right over the ankle, not coming forward. And then you're going to spin that back foot, heel to the mat. Inhale, coming up into warrior two. From here, dropping your shoulders down, drawing your fingertips forward and back, and make sure you're not leaning forward or back. We're going to try and stack that torso right over the hips. Drawing the crown up, and maybe dropping just a little bit deeper. One more deep breath here. And then flipping that front palm facing up. Exhale, drawing back into extended warrior. Breathing into that side body, maybe deepening just a little bit deeper bend into that front knee. On your next inhale, rising up. Exhale, placing each hand on each side of your front foot. Taking a little step forward. You may want to walk your hands forward too. We're just going to bring that back foot off the mat. Still keeping your hips square towards the ground. Pressing out through the back ball of the foot or the heel. If you want to add on to here, you might play with raising your hands forward into warrior three. And releasing that back foot to the mat, dropping the hands. We're going to step back into down dog. And taking a couple breaths here. On your next inhale, drawing that left foot up. Exhale, bending at the knee, stepping it through to the hands into low lunge. Again, double checking that you're stacking that knee over the ankle. It's not coming forward. And from here, inhaling up into warrior two. And you can peek down and check that your heels lined up with the instep of the back foot. So nice tight line. Dropping your shoulders down away from your ears. Gazing out over that front hand. And maybe for one breath, dropping just a little bit deeper. On your next inhale, flipping that front hand up and coming back into extended warrior. Really breathing into your side body here. And maybe you drop just a little bit deeper for a breath. And on your next inhale, coming up, spinning that back foot up and placing your hands. You might want to take a step in here, walk your hands forward, and lift that back leg up. Again, take a peek back, see that you're squaring your hips down towards the mat, not rolling open. And for a breath, you may reach those hands forward. And exhale, releasing the back leg to the mat, placing your hands and stepping back into down dog. And from here, dropping your knees to the mat, bringing your toes together and pressing your hips back into child's pose. And just enjoy a few deep breaths here. On your next inhale, coming forward onto your hands and knees, tucking those toes back, pressing back into down dog. And then slowly begin walking those feet to your hands, coming into forward fold. Maybe take a nice bend in the knees, holding on to your arms and just releasing the head and neck. Allowing all your weight to spill down, opening up the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. And go ahead, drop your hands to the mat. I'm going to take a step back with the left foot. And then go ahead and raise that left foot off the ground. And this time we are going to open up our hips a little bit. You may have to walk your hands forward. Keep a bend in that front knee. And from here, you may stay there. You may put your left hand on your left hip. And on an exhale, releasing that hand, dropping the back foot to the mat, and then coming all the way to standing. We're going to take our feet nice and wide, and they can be parallel, or the toes can point in just slightly. From here, we're going to take a forward fold, wide leg forward fold. Maybe you grab onto your shins if you want to pull a little deeper. And just releasing here. On an inhale, coming all the way up. And then we're going to take that left foot, point it forward. Take a step in with the right foot. And then go ahead and put your hands to the mat. And this time we'll lift the right leg up off the mat. Beginning to open a little at the hips this time, prepping for Ardha Chandrasana or half moon. You may put that left hand on the left, or the right hand, sorry, on the right hip. And exhale, releasing that back foot to the mat. And both hands to the ground, stepping back into down dog. And from here, you can just drop your knees, and we're going to come into seated position. We'll work our core a little bit. So there's a couple options for Navasana or boat pose. You might keep your hands on the ground and just lift your legs up, keeping them bent. Maybe you lift your arms up And maybe you straighten your legs. Take any one of those variations and we're gonna hold it for a few breaths. And gently releasing the toes to the mat, your hands to the ground. Go ahead and bring your back to the mat. Placing your hands gently behind your neck. We're gonna lift the feet back up, either bent or straight. And on an inhale, we're gonna take the right hand to the outside of our left thigh. Exhaling back. Inhaling, left hand to the outside of the right thigh. And exhaling back. A few more times in each side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more times each side. Inhale, exhale, inhale up, exhale back. 1 more time. Inhale up, exhale back, inhale up, exhale back. Releasing your toes to the mat, your head to the mat. You're gonna make a triangle with your hands, thumbs touching and pointer fingers touching. And then you're gonna place that triangle, palms down, right underneath your sacrum. So at the very bottom of your back. From there, we're gonna take our legs straight, about 6 inches off the mat. And on an inhale, bringing them up. Exhale, dropping them to 6 inches above the mat. Inhaling up. Exhale, drop. Inhaling up. Exhale, drop. Inhaling up. Exhaling, drop. A few more times. You got this. Inhaling up. Exhaling, drop. Inhaling up. Exhale, drop. 1 more time. Inhaling up. And exhale, dropping your feet to the mat, releasing your hands. Just taking a couple breaths here. Now with your knees bent, begin to walk your heels as close to your bottom as you can get them. If you can, touch them with your fingers. From here, we're gonna roll the shoulders just a little bit under our back, so squeezing your shoulder blades together. Then pressing the heels into the mat, squeezing the thighs together, begin to press up into bridge. We're gonna take a few breaths here in bridge, continuing to press into the feet, squeezing through the thighs, squeezing the glutes, pressing up. And on your exhale, rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. We're just gonna take a couple breaths here and take bridge 1 more time. So drawing your heels back in, rolling your shoulder blades under, and then begin to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, squeezing the thighs in, pressing the heels down, squeezing your glutes. One more deep breath in. And on your exhale, beginning to roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. When you reach the mat, lifting your knees up and hugging them in towards your chest. Giving that lower back a release after that back bend. Maybe you roll them around a little bit, roll your hips back and forth across the mat. And go ahead and let your feet come back down to the mat. Taking your left leg, crossing that ankle over the right knee. You're going to keep your left foot really flexed to protect your joints. And then go ahead and lift that bottom foot up, either grabbing behind the thigh or in front of the knee, just so long as your head and back can stay on the mat. If it's lifting up, you'll want to release. Go back a little bit. And just taking a few deep breaths here. Breathing into that hip. The hips can be a place where we tend to store a lot of our emotions. So just releasing some of that today. And then go ahead and release that leg, dropping the foot to the mat. We'll switch the cross. And as you're ready, drawing that bottom leg up, grabbing behind the thigh or in front of the knee. You may notice one side is tighter than the other. Maybe giving a little bit more love or tension to the side that needs it. Just taking a moment to breathe here. When you're ready, gently releasing both feet to the mat, taking the left foot, crossing the left shin over the right knee, and then dropping both legs over towards the left. Then you might take your right arm out and gaze over the right shoulder if that's comfortable for your neck. Just getting a little spinal twist here, massaging out the internal organs. On an inhale, drawing back up to center, switching the cross, and twisting the other direction. On your next inhale, drawing up to center, and we're going to make our way into Shavasana. So drawing the legs out nice and long, about hip distance apart, allowing your arms to fall out away from your body. Closing your eyes and just beginning to relax. Bringing your attention to your jaw and releasing any tension you might be holding there. Letting your tongue sit gently against the roof of your mouth. Bringing your attention to your eye sockets. Releasing any tension you may be holding there. Allowing your eyeballs to just sit like water. Bringing your attention to your shoulders and chest and letting them relax. Bringing your attention to your hands, your fingers, allowing them to relax. Bringing your attention into your belly and allowing all the insides to just fall gently with gravity, sitting without any tension, in complete relaxation. Feeling your legs relax, feeling them supported by the floor, by the earth. And bringing your attention all the way down to your toes, your feet, allowing any negative energy to flow freely out through the bottoms of your feet, being released for transmutation back into love. Taking a deep breath in, beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing energy back into the body. Maybe you take a deep stretch with your arms above your head. And as you feel ready, rolling onto either side into fetal position. And as you're ready, begin to push up, meeting back in a seated position. Bringing your hands together, pressing the base of your thumbs into your heart center. And with one more deep inhale, inhaling love, and exhaling gratitude. Thank you for coming to practice today. Namaste.
Before everyone goes, I'd love to see everybody's face, and if it's okay, I'm going to take a picture of Jackie's first virtual class. It's just going to be a little screenshot. So Gabrielle, if you're still with us, I'd love to see your goddess face.
I'm coming. Sorry, I was in Shavasana extra long.
And I'm going to share, I think everybody knows, but Jackie's building her business. Soon it's going to be donation-based and membership-based. So you can go on Auto and start paying her monthly to join every Sunday. Hopefully we can push her to do twice a week. So if not joining, spread the word. And she'll do this again next Sunday, the same time every week. So keep sharing and inviting people to the group who you think would appreciate being here. I'm going to take a picture. Everybody give me a big yoga happy Jackie smile. Wait. Actually, hold still. Oh, okay. This is going to be better now. Okay. Big happy Jackie smile. Thank you, Jackie. Yay. It's so good seeing everyone. Miss you, family. Sending love. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you, Jackie. It was wonderful.
Thank you.